go time, Slim.
Two. My mic on. Yep. OCO, everyone. We about to get it started here in a second as soon as I roll out some notifications. My apologies about last night. I got tied up, so I'm going tonight. OCO, everyone. Thank you for joining. I know it's late, and I'm gonna do better with chopping up the live streams. I'm not gonna go 4 hours long this time around because I see a lot of people didn't get a chance to see the whole thing. I'm gonna make those, I'm gonna make some highlights from that last stream and post it. I'm gonna try to stay around the 2 hour range. Chicago in the building. What up, Levante? What's going on, brother? OCO need you. Amani in the building. What's going on, Amani? Shout out to the West Indies. Shout out to the Caribbeans. What's going on, Tampa, Florida? Iowa, Mississippi, DMV in the house. What up, DMV?
Real live.
You already know we real live right now.
It's go time, Slim.
Tennessee in the building. Cincinnati, what's going on? Alabama, Jacksonville, Mississippi, Louisiana. Arkansas, that went a little quick on my side. Baltimore in the building. Oklahoma in the building. What's going on, y'all? Houston, Texas. What up, Houston? Oklahoma. What's going on, y'all? Long Island in the building. I see you. Boston in the building. Virginia in the building. What up, VA? You know we going.
Real live.
North Carolina in the building. Philly in the building. What's going on? Kentucky in the building. Jersey in the building. Brooklyn, what's going on? Charleston, South Carolina. Man, Choctaw, Montana, what's going on, brother? Your thing went so quick, I couldn't even see what you was... Man. Decatur, Georgia, Columbia, South Carolina, Greensboro, Eastern Shore, Virginia. It's the Eastern Shore, Virginia? I only heard of the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I ain't know that. You done taught me something right there. What's going on, Cali? Chi-Town, what's going on now? Brooklyn, I see you, Imani. What's going on? Patterson, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Dayton, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Decatur, Georgia, Kansas City, Yonkers, New York, Austin, Texas. What's going on? Nashville, Tennessee. Memphis 10. What up, Memphis? I go down Memphis and let them know what I want to. Hey, man, hey, look, man, I want me, hey, don't mess it up, man. I want me one of them more. Hey, let me get one of them things right there, man. Shout out to Memphis, though. Y'all always show love. I appreciate y'all. Georgia, y'all be talking fast, Georgia. I be having to ask y'all to slow down. I be like, what? Hold on, say that one more thing. I'm talking about after the 5th time is when I understand, okay? I be like, oh, you need instructions on. Shout out to Georgia. Y'all country, all of y'all country. Memphis, Alabama, country. Oh my goodness. Man, that tongue, man. Louisiana, Baton Rouge too. Uh-huh. What up, St. Louis? Durham, North Carolina, beautiful place. Philly, what's going on? Philly. B-More in the building. What's up, B-More? Y'all know y'all 45 minutes away from where I'm from. I mean, unless they change the routes. It's been a while since I've been out there. Usually it take us 45 minutes to go to B-More. Usually. Depends on the traffic of 495, okay? Miami, Florida. It's probably beautiful down there right now. What's the weather in Miami? Chattanooga, Tennessee. What's going on? Greenville, South Carolina. Actually, I went down Greenville when I was doing some traveling. My wife and I, what were we doing down there? Oh, we were getting the railroads. That's when I started I think that was right when I started my research on how they had, don't get me started on that right now. But that's how I know they had to reroute some of the train tracks because they couldn't get used to one particular track. They didn't know what it was about. They didn't know where it was going. They just built around it. It was hilarious how they just leaving that train track right there, man. Not even touching it, they scared. And it's leading to the mounds. Huh? About that out too. It's cloudy in Miami? Stop playing. Now, I mean, I know after, the hurricane and stuff like that, I know all the bad weather was happening, but I thought it since cleared up. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. Hamlet, North Carolina. Detroit. What's going on, Detroit? Oh, yeah, we in here. I thought YouTube told us that they updated that resolution situation. It's still sending out error messages. Milwaukee. Oceanside, California, Colorado Springs, Summerton, South Carolina, Delaware here. What's going on, Delaware? What's going on, y'all? Midway, Georgia, Atlantic City, Charlotte, North Carolina. What up, Charlotte? Dallas, what's going on? Yeah, Detroit, Michigan in the building. Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the building. Oakland in the building. Cleveland in the building. What's up, Ohio? DMV in the building.
Rue life.
H-Town in the building. Houston, Texas, what's going on? St. Louis, what's going on? Chi-Town in the building. Long Beach in the building. What up? What up, Cali? What time is it for y'all? Y'all 3 hours back, right? Okay. Memphis teen in the building. They go Alabama. What's going on? Oh, Compton in the building. What up, Compton? A lot of Detroit in the house. Jersey, what's going on? London in the building. You lying. You ain't in London right now. You lying. You lying. Oh, it's 512 on the west. Shout out to the west. Uh-oh. Hold up. Y'all about to make me miss my cue. Hold up.
It's go time, Slim.
Jermaine, thank you for becoming a member. Jeremy, thank you for always showing love. Rest in peace to Coolio. May he rest well. We appreciate you, Coolio. Thank you, brother.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
His brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of two continents? Not two countries, two continents. That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway. Dane Calloway? Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay, where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway. Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal, and he don't get the accolade and his flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude gives some powerful information, some common sense. Go dig deep in research. Maybe even have to spend a couple dollars on research if you truth seeking. Not fact checking, truth seeking. Because there's a difference.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Turn it up. Look, 100 years after 100 years, they lied to us about this and that. Told us all we from Africa. I made fiction characters turn into facts. Heard you tell me then it was not. No goddamn well that trick was capped. My wife and I wrote a book about it. It's a book with knowledge, evidence, and fact. And my other book got them haters shook, cause it's helping my people take a closer look at their backgrounds in the background, showing my people where they supposed to look. Showing my people where they get it from, where they hit it from, all sorts of angles. When it comes to this research, you must please first. Don't trust strangers. Find out all of your own is what I highly recommend and suggest. And if you looking for answers and content about me, I highly recommend you the best. Which is my website at the link you see just across the screen. Don't let it miss you. I make it simple. I double down on that black and white. It's so official.
Okay. Actually, hold up. Let me switch it to this one. Because I wanted to get into a few things. Hold on, I'm getting all my buttons and everything together. All right. Okay, that's on. We looking good. OCO, beautiful people. I know it's late, but we gotta touch on this. A lot of people have been requesting me to touch on this for quite some time. I see it in the comments a lot. What up, PD? That's my family right there. I seen, excuse me, I saw earlier somebody said Annie and Weir. Shout out to the Annie and Weir. I saw the Kitawa in the building. What's going on, Blackfoot? Oh, Creek in the building. What's going on, y'all? We know Choctaw in the building. Drop a bomb. All right, here we go. Get some of that water real quick. All right. So what I wanted to do was answer a lot of people's questions that I saw in the comment section. A lot of people had a misunderstanding. You know, and it always happens because of that, because of what our people have been taught, as far as, you know, through the indoctrination process and what they can recall based off of what they were taught in school. And I understand that. I stand against it. Okay, this is the reason why I do what I do. This is not to showboat. This is to educate. A lot of people have a misunderstanding. This is mainly about my research and presenting it to the public. It's up to you, okay? It is up to you to verify with your own individual family members of who you are. I said that 98% of us were already here, okay? But it's up to you. Only way you're gonna know is if you find out through paper trail. Genealogy is the key, okay? And can't nobody tell you any different. Can't nobody tell you any different from that.
Period.
You understand? They can't take your genealogy away from you. Like, they can't do it. Yes, but research is the key. When your grandparents, like if you are blessed to still have your grandparents or any elders of your family members, CEO Ball Styles, what's going on, sis? If you are blessed to still have your family members, your elder family members, start asking questions. During my last live stream, I said that the quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask. You have to have a sit-down conversation with your elders. Figure it out. Don't go off of any stranger's word, including mine. Okay? The only way you're really going to know is if you ask those that know, not strangers. Strangers wouldn't have any idea what you're talking about unless they're regurgitating information that they're familiar with, in which they receive that from strangers. They can't nobody tell you who you are but your family. That's why it's very important. So no matter you know what people say, or are you African? And in fact, we about to get into that. Of course, you already know. Africans confirm that so-called Black Americans are not Africans. We about to get into it. Just as a reminder to let you know, okay, where they're coming from, where we're coming from. Once again, this has nothing to do with I or anybody else that, you know, talk like me. We don't have anything against real authentic Africans at all. We don't have beef with them. This is not, like, honestly, this ain't got nothing to do with them. This is all about us here in America. And the stories that we were told, the lies that we were told, lie after lie after lie. It's about debunking that, putting it to rest, and moving forward. And the reason why I have to keep regurgitating myself or reiterating myself is because a lot of people are still coming on board, learning about themselves. Somebody could have watched me 3 years ago and just came back just now just because of one conversation they had with their elders. And I see it in the comments. Dane, I apologize for not knowing. I apologize for turning my nose up to you. And I tell them it's all right. It happens. It's okay. You didn't know. Of course you doubted me. I'm a stranger. And I'm of color. So I got two things working against me when it comes to presenting things to you. And I'm telling you it's the truth, but I tell you also, don't take my word for it. You can verify everything that I'm saying. Everything that I have put out is publicly verifiable right now. Right now. Hey, why YouTube blocking my own emojis? That's weird. And it never fails. There's always a feather involved. Like, they can't stay. Can y'all do me a favor and just blow this thing up with a whole bunch of feathers? Just blow the whole chat up with a whole bunch of. I'm sick of you, YouTube. Real talk. I'm sick of you. Every time it got to deal with feathers, look at that. Look at that. Look at how many people they blocking right now. Some of them going through, but a lot of them getting blocked. That's crazy. And I want this documented again, because I'm gonna bring this up again, YouTube. Why are you blocking feathers? You feel threatened? Am I your enemy? Is something going on? Did I shake up your reality? I hope I did. I hope I did.
It's go time, Slim.
Man, they over there hurt. They hurting. They big mad.
You wanna argue? I can't argue with you. No. You mad. Look at you.
Look at you.
Mad.
You mad.
You big mad.
They mad, huh? Doesn't matter. You're not gonna stop me from telling the truth. It doesn't matter who you bring my way, who you put in my way. All I'm gonna do is step right over them, keep it moving. You try to throw some dirt on me, I'm gonna just brush it off and keep it moving. Shao Kahn, tell him.
Fatality.
It's over with. Get over it. Oh, look at all the feathers they blocking. They know better than that. All right, so let's move on. I'm about to play. Oh no, wrong screen. I can play it right there. I'm about to play this first video. I'm gonna get into it because a lot of people, as a matter of fact, let me just play it. Let me just play it. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Here we go.
OCO, brothers and sisters, relatives and free thinkers, let's begin this segment.
Hold on, hold on, no, hold on. Hold on. Real quick. Let me shout out to the Ninja, because y'all throwing up the feathers hard, y'all. We be wildin' up a turtle wildin'. Them squatters had to stay in TVs. The revolution out on TVs. Shout out to all of my Nijis. Shout out to all of my Nijis. Hey, they asking me what I be rapping for. I tell them I'm not like these rapping folk. I'm here to wake up my people with truth that's illegal, cause that's why they lacking, no. They are not amused that you gotta think, cause a lot of views water down the sink. What they trying to do is to lie to you. Disguise as news, bottled up to drink. This ain't about your low feelings. This about standing on your business. This about building our buildings and building a structure that benefit billions. Our infrastructure got a bigger budget. Longevity, you thick and cover. Birth in our own nations like they children, and we date America, a thicker mother. We be wildin' up a turtle wildin'. Them squatters had to stay in TVs. The revolution out on TVs. Shout out to all of my Nijis. Even Putin rushing just to be free. So it's time to finish what we really started. How did we build up America? Same way today, we are still the biggest artists. Don't allow them to tell you no different when all of the evidence right there in front of you. Look, the enemy banking off our people's ignorance. They making fun of you, cook. Word on the street, there's supremacy, we because in reality they shook. Judgment Day, we be throwing more than books. Okay then. Okay then. Okay.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American.
Talk to him, Malcolm.
Aborigine actually means from the beginning.
From the beginning.
It's two Latin words. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning.
So before you turn around and say, Malcolm X didn't say that, think twice. All right, here we go.
With asking a multiple choice question. What is Africa's original name? Is it A, Africa, B, Europe, C, Alkebulan, or D, Ethiopia?
Let me just look in the chat real quick. Can somebody answer it right away? What's Africa's original name? A, B, C, or D? A lot of C's, a lot of D's. Okay. I'm liking it. Okay. D dominating. I got an idea. Let's find out. So let's take a poll live. So I'm gonna do the question again.
Question. What is Africa's original name? Is it A, Africa, B, Europe, C, Alkebulan, or D, Ethiopia? Now,
so is D winning? Okay, D winning. Wait. Oh, C and D neck to neck. Look at y'all. I love this. All right, so I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna leave it up.
Let's dive into the answer of this question a little bit deeper. There may be some of you who may feel as though your history teacher gave you the correct answer. Or it may be a few of you who feels as though some community leader gave you the best answer. Or there may be a small group who feel as though just because someone mentions it to them and it sounded about right, that it's a fact. Meaning you approve his or her message. But the funny thing about approving someone's message is merely based upon how much you value that individual's opinion. I mean, think about it. Since history was written with maliciously biased motives and agendas in the first place, what makes a person actually buy into a stranger's opinion about their people's story? It is a process uncommonly known as a social engineering experiment, or C for short, a scientific study conducted on groups of large populations, manipulating direct and indirect thought of human behavior, subsequently found within the origins of social science. Period. Social science is the science of people or collections of people, such as groups, firms, societies, or economies, and their individual or collective behaviors. There are 3 disciplinary classifications of social science: psychology, the science of human behavior; sociology, the science of social groups; and economics, the science of firms, markets, and economies. More about that at a later time, but I did mention all of that to say this. According to what public school teachers are instructed to teach our children, is that the landmass known as Africa has historically been referred to as Africa, and that the term Africa originated from the Roman word Tunisia. However, Tunisia is in fact a Roman word for Africa, but that does not mean that the term Africa itself originated from the Roman language. Period. In fact, there is no supporting evidence nor any ancient form of historical documentation that clearly identifies its origin. Both words are still in use today, but Tunisia has always been a northern country bordering the Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara Desert, while the term Africa went from being rumored as the name of a small area originally known as the Kingdom of Tunisia, then somehow managed to streamline its way into European folktales as the commonly used name of the entire landmass south of the Mediterranean Sea. What's very important to note here is that the people of what is known now as the continent of Africa speaks many different languages and bears multiple different cultures. So logically speaking, these different cultures and different languages would carry over from generation to generation historically, in which that fact alone should make you ask the question, so which of these multiple languages did the term Africa originate from, respectively? Well, let's go over some commonly used theories first. One theory is that the term Africa originated from some random Roman leader named Publius Cornelius Scipio, who was said to have led the charge. Originated from some. Well, let's go over some commonly used theories first. One theory is that the term Africa originated from some random Roman leader named Publius Cornelius Scipio, who was said to have led the charge during the so-called Punic Wars with capturing Carthage, a landmass which later became known as North Africa, allegedly due to Romans wanting all indigenous cultures and traditions of the region completely erased from existence. Shortly after capturing Carthage, Publius allegedly changed his name to read Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, with Africanus being a title for, quote, a wild beast, in which the term Africanus did not exist until it was placed in the Oxford Dictionary in 1983, claiming that it is a Latin word. But interesting enough, much older dictionaries of the Latin and Roman languages never carried such a word before. Another commonly used theory is that Africa was named after a so-called famous European explorer named Leo Africanus, because he believed that the word Africa derived from the Greek word Afrique. However, a theory is nothing more than just a simple idea that has absolutely nothing to do with the truth. There has even been reports of the word Africa allegedly deriving from the Latin word Afri, which refers to a group of people that dwelled in the outskirts of Carthage during the Punic era. However, there is absolutely no evidence to prove that the Romans derived the word Africa from Afri. But there is, however, a Latin word, Africa, which means Libya, or to cause an uprise.
All right, so we went over this during my last live stream. So this is a fresh reminder. So I'm knocking out all those so-called possibilities because they're nothing but theories that have never been proven, no documentation to back it up. It's just stories, folk tales. Folk tales, when the real word Africa in Latin is referring to Libya or to cause an uprise, which makes you wonder, was there an uprise in West Africa that you can recall, meaning that you can recall offhand what war that was that took place that allowed for so-called foreigners to rush in and go grab West Africans and capture them, and then somehow manage their little ways over to North America, South America, Central America, and then colonize their people and enslave those same West Africans simultaneously?
Fatality.
You can't do that. You can't. They can't even do that right now. You cannot colonize 2 continents and your entire makeup is allegedly from Europe, and you're not of population count to take care of that many people without telling us how. Again, this is all fantasy that they gave you. You don't know how many whites it took for that to happen. Who led the charge? That information is nowhere near to be found. Because why isn't that person held up super high in museums right now? Especially if it was more than one. But no, you quick to tell us about these so-called white presidents and these so-called white leaders and these so-called white explorers. But you forgot to mention who actually did the fighting and capturing and colonizing? No, but what does pop up in the record is the first American colonization society, and that was in the 1800s. Wait a minute now, did y'all have to wait until y'all got some backup? And then on top of that, you were asking the government to make that happen, which means certain people had to agree to go to Africa, not come from. That was the colonization that happened. The American Colonization Society was established in order to colonize land masses in West Africa, correct? Not in America. So name the colonization society that colonized Africa before that. Woo.
Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight, you fuck.
Rule life.
You can't do that on your own, could you? That's unrealistic. This is the reason why I debunk those little small YouTubers and all those people that claim they doing some quick and easy Google search on Wikipedia. And I'm debunking them, y'all. I'm debunking them. Meanwhile, I'm playing my videos. Whose videos are you playing? Meanwhile, I'm actually doing research. And whose research are you using? Meanwhile, you ain't put up a single record yet of your family members being in Africa, from Africa. I went viral on Facebook, putting up my family. That's why I got here on YouTube, because Facebook kicked me off. I love you, Granddad. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have got this right, because Grandma was gone. She left a lot behind. My aunt passed. She left a lot of stuff behind for me to know, but you had to point it out, Granddad. You had to let me see. And I'm so glad and I'm so thankful that you got a chance to open up to me to tell me what was going on, because I knew they were killing you guys back then just for saying that you were Indian. Just for saying that. Shout out to the PDs. Shout out to the Katabas. Shout out to the Anninganweas. Thank you. That led me to believe that we was wilding up in Turtle Island, and them squatters the ones that stayed in TPs.
An uprise. Most historians generally agree that the word Africa was first used to refer to a very small part of the northern region of Africa, and then some 1,000 years later became known as the name of the entire continent by European influencers. So with all of that being said, the origins of the word Africa have never been proven still. So for now,
don't forget that we're talking about the word. Let that sink in. The origins of the word Africa have never been proven. I was telling you where it came from and where it was used at the same time. Remember I played, during the last live stream, I showed you where Umar Johnson was trying to tell you Africa had many interpretations. Yeah, interpretations. Interpretations. Interpret. This is where they feel like it should be. That doesn't make it true. Just like you interpret the Bible, right? But all preachers are saying the same thing? Or do they have many different ways to explain it when they interpret the Bible? So if you interpret the word Africa, many interpretations, he sure did. He said that. So you taking your best guess, huh? That's right, Carter Imperial. They taking their best guess. They don't know for sure. Because the origins of the word have never been proven. Aubrey, thank you for the 9 months, brother. OCO. Tina Kane, what's going on, sister? Thank you for joining me. OG Moonwalker. And I hope people paying attention to what I just said right here. Because, they're going to turn around and tell you to get this book. Get this book. But, I mean, this is just the basic stuff that I'm going over. And it's still killing you.
Fatality.
Oh, but everybody circumnavigated the globe. Hold up. Ho. Wait. Who's everybody? Because you so biased that you'll sit around and say that Africans will circumnavigate the globe. But you're not listening to the fact that you're saying everybody. That doesn't just mean Africans alone, brother. Yeah, we know it's on a flat surface. I say oblique. That's the terminology I use. Oblique. I'll get into that at a later date. Shout out to Sanchez. What up, Sanchez? Umar was making an educated guess. He had no choice. He had no choice. The reason why is because a lot of these brothers have not studied history. They're going off of word of mouth and or what they read in the book or what they were taught in school. And that also includes colleges and universities. I mean, just think about it. Could this be the reason why he didn't put up his school fast enough? Because what exactly are you going to be teaching these brothers? The Pan-African way, which is what? Which is what exactly? Like, how come you Pan-Africans ain't in Africa right now? Like, living there, not visiting. But then, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, y'all don't get this twisted, because they always want to come back at me and he's this and he fraud and he don't know what he's talking about. He's spitting misinformation, but yet none of you people, are coming up with anything. You just running your mouth. That's it. You're not putting nothing on screen. No, you don't want to have debates with me. You don't want to act like grown men about this situation. When I tell you that your research was limited to just books, and by the time the internet came, you said, hey, forget about it. I read 20 books. I'm good. You just stopped right there. So you got comfortable with what you were told. You got comfortable with strangers' information. And then they get mad at me, y'all, and tell me that I'm regurgitating the white man's information. Wait, and you got yours from a so-called black man? You making this about race now? That's the stupidity I don't like. And then they're gonna turn around and make all sorts of excuses, but you ain't putting up your grandmother on screen. I put my grandfather on screen. He always with me, but he's passed on now, but he's always with me. And he told you, huh? Let me see you do that. No, Dane, I want to see some proof. You kidding me? Y'all so stuck, man. Like, listen, that's why I'm so glad that this wave came and hit them as hard as it did, man. Because look how many people they taught lies to with no problem. And and some of them, okay, don't get me wrong, some of the Pan-Africans have reached out to me and gave me props and let me know that they're open-minded. They're willing to understand. They're willing to find out this information. Shout out to them. They're not coming at me. They see I'm doing a great job and have gave me props and want to get on my platform with me, and we will. Okay? But the other ones are just us. Yeah, ego. Yeah, that's right, Tracy. It's the ego. I'm like, really? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know everything, but I know exactly what I researched. So everything, and I mean that, everything that I said on this public platform, I have proven and can prove it. Like, I'm not here to spit misinformation. Just because it doesn't probably fit your reality right now does not mean that what I'm stating is incorrect. everything that I'm put out always makes sense. You know why? Because I pay attention to detail. I just don't put out everything or anything. You can ask my wife on that. I go over everything, probably like 5 or 6 times. Even when I write my stuff, like sometimes you'll hear me sound tired. And I'm gonna tell y'all some truth right here. Sometimes you're gonna hear me sound super tired in these videos because I'm up 4 or 5 in the morning, just completed my writing and got the nerve to hit record as my eyes are closing. I'm up doing this. This is no joke. I miss sleep over this. Yes, I do. But I love doing this. This is not a complaint. And I know it's beneficial for our people. What piss me off for certain things that YouTube do, you know, whatever, woo, woo, woo. But it's not gonna stop me. Just like if, I don't care if 20 people come out with a video talking bad about me tomorrow, you're not gonna stop me. Once again, you're gonna talk. You're not gonna explain anything. With stuff on screen where people can actually go behind you and check. Now, when I put out a bold statement and I'm keeping it on screen, the origins of the word Africa have never been proven. You know, that's my reputation on the line. And you're not going to debunk that because you can't. I'm not going to sit there and just state anything. I'm not talking out the side of my neck here. This is something that you're gonna have to try to adjust to. Truth is always a hard pill to swallow. Truth is not what everybody would love to gravitate towards because of how misinformation has taken over broadly. And so truth is like a tree buried in a backyard and not under the sun. It's just sitting off to the shade. You can't even see it. You gotta look it through binoculars just to, and then on top of that, you gotta decode it. You know how much work this is? I wish it was as easy as and the answer pop up. What? You know how many videos I have out? Right now? Man, this ain't no joke. So a lot of people were saying the Alki Bulin. Get ready. I did research on it.
We can determine that option A can be eliminated as a verifiable answer to the original question. Now, we can immediately rule out option B as being a possibility of the original name, because Europe is truly not even a continent, due to the fact that it is literally part of the peninsula of Eurasia. Eurasia is described as the combination of both continental landmasses of Europe and Asia. But what history loves to tell you is that Europe and Asia are somehow 2 separate continents from a historical point of view, when in reality, they are still actually together as one large landmass with no signs of any physical separation between them.
And with that being said, I want you to think about something. Look, now, okay, what I just want you to, it's not, don't look at the size on the map, right? Don't, just disregard the size of Europe right now. And look how large Russia is. But I mean, I'm just saying, disregard the size, y'all. But just think about, I'm not talking about the map, but just think about the size of Europe right now, right? And Europe not being a continent, y'all. And you mean to tell me Europe? I'm talking about all the people in Europe colonized Africa or entire, you know how big, listen, y'all, how? And the Americas? in the Americas. They can't do that by themselves. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You giving them way too much credit. This is the reason why I say white supremacy is an illusion. You just handing them the power. You giving it to them. No, the white man did it. Y'all, the white man. And you know how many of color people there are in Europe? Just like, you know, we say that we're the majority here in the Americas. Think about the same thing in Europe. Just think about it for a second. We're outnumbering them here. This is the reason why you don't know the real results of the 2020 census, because they don't want to admit that they're the minority. That's why they're trying to hurry up and keep bringing on these immigrants so they can hurry up and jump the numbers of whites, because they're not white. White is a status, but the Caucasian race is constantly leaving, dipping. They're dying more so than they are reproducing. So you know they are lying about their numbers from that fact alone. And this has been happening for years. And what I mean by this has been happening, them always manipulating the numbers, bringing in more immigrants so they could manipulate the numbers some more, make it look like they're sky high when they're not. You just can't fathom that, could you? They're considering people that are darker than me, darker than you, white on the US Census. You heard what I said, right?
It's go time, Slim.
Y'all gotta wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, sleep.
That's very serious. And that's not speculation. That's the truth. And just imagine, I want y'all to put 2 and 2 together. Remember when the Haitians was trying to come over here? And they said, no, not y'all. Y'all. And who was the y'all? They told the Haitians to go back. Remember? When they opened up the borders? Remember that now, right? Who did they say come on? Quietly. Told them, come on. Come on. And they still, right now, are considering these people that I'm talking about white on the census. Jersey said the U word. You know, you two don't, ain't this crazy? You two don't want us to talk about that no more. Oh, they threatened us. They said there's 3 emails. Like, huh? Now, I don't know if that happened to, you know, the Caucasian YouTubers, but it happened to me. I don't know if they talking about it. I would love to know. And Zach, your folks reached out to me. We'll be able to collab, Zach. I don't got no problem with that. I don't think they're ready for gematria though. We could figure something out. Gotta do it in a different way, because if they go on code, we could go on code. You know that's gonna be powerful. But I'm all for it. And shout out to the people in the UK. You know, I mean, the ones that just don't be settling for whatever strangers tell them, you know, the ones that actually do real research and know what's going on. Not the ones that want to showboat and show off and, you know, for a crowd or whatever. Nah, not them. The real people in the UK. Shout out to y'all for telling the truth. What up, London?
The only separation that does exist are the political constructs of governmental boundaries depicted heavily upon Western Europeanized history books given to Americans, right along with their world map predictions. Did you know that Eurasia is currently being recognized as just one continent in most parts of the world right now? Are these history writers telling us the truth?
See there?
I mean, think about it. Did you ever question your history teacher concerning the origins of where this information comes from? That we are forced to learn and study in order to be judged and hope for passing grades? Now, this Alkebulan term will be the correct answer for those of you who allowed a complete stranger to tell you that this theory, or opinion in this case, is a fact. Here's why.
All right, listen closely, y'all. I'm breaking this down.
The term was never used in any historical context of creditable documentation to verify its existence prior to the early 1900s. In fact, the map of the said Alkebulan was just recently published by a Swedish artist named Nikolai Jesper Kajen in 2014.
Hold up. You heard what I said? The map of Alkebulan was published by a Swedish artist. I got all this if y'all need it. I'm showing you the map right now.
The map of the said Alkebulan was just recently published by a Swedish artist named Nikolai Jesper Kajen in 2014.
2014. Listen. If this map, the first map that had the name Alkebulan, was just created and published in 2014, then where did the Alkebulan term originate? Now, they said he was Swedish. You can look him up. He's Swedish. You can look him up. I'm stating, watch. Oh, it's upside down. Ooh, yes, that map is upside. Thank you. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why in this video. Actually, I'm gonna tell you why. But notice how the structure is upside down, but look closely at the words. Are the words written upside down? Can you see that? Let's zoom in. Wait, where my zoom in joint? Hold up. Give me a second. Oh man, I gotta find it. Oh no, it's this one. My bad, y'all. Look at that. Look real close. Notice how the map is upside down. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit.
Said Alkebulan was just recently published by a Swedish artist.
Look. Uh-oh, are these names? Uh-oh. Is it Arabic? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Named Nikolai Jesper Kajen in 2014.
Hold up.
Nikolai named his map of Africa Alkebulan 1260 AH, and if you noticed, he has the image of Africa placed in what will be considered an upside down position, in which some of you would say that it's wrong. However, this would actually be the correct positioning for Africa.
Hold up. I'm gonna tell you why that's the correct positioning for Africa. But just think about this, y'all. Now, somebody said, okay, they said Arabic Aramic. Aramic? How do you pronounce that? I never saw that word. I'll have to look it up. But I mean, this is totally a different language. And this was done in 2014. I have every version that he created too. This was the final version that I'm showing you. This is the one that, I mean, he made all of them public, but this is the one that he officially said, hey, this is it. Aramaic. I never heard of that. Never heard of it. Haitian Creole? I don't know. I can look into it. Y'all want me to look into this? To me at the time, I was more concerned about the name of the map, the name Alkebulan. You want me to look into these words right here? To me, these look like Arabic words. It's supposed to be an ancient language? Interesting. And he knew the names of these areas? Or did he make it up? Because think about it, what was he referencing in order to be that accurate? Did he have another interpreter? Because keep in mind, he was Swedish. It was the Swedish artist, Nikolai Jesper-Kayan, 2014. Kenavir, I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, a little bit. I did see that. Just a little bit like Louisiana. I'm going to look into it though. I'll look into it. I'll make sure I do. And I'll come back to you on that. Because see, look, he's using that same language here. And he's saying 1844 AD. Keep in mind, nobody has put out a map and named it Alkebulan but him. Nea Bara Arabu Na Frankenstein. Asmit Sawa Indio Macadrio. That sounds Arabic to me. Like but with the dialect. I'll look at it. But I looked at, the only thing that I paid attention to was the word Alkebulan. And you're gonna hear me what I found.
And if you noticed, he has the image of Africa placed in what will be considered an upside down position, in which some of you would say that it's wrong. However, this would actually be the correct positioning for Africa due to any of the famous foreign explorers' visual prediction of the lands close to them at that time. Logically thinking, they would then be forced to draw the map right side up because it is based on where the individual was located. Now, there are plenty of misconceptions out there in the public about the term Alkebulan. Some would say that the word means Garden of Eden or Mother Nature, but realistically, the word never found its way into any colonial documentation.
By the way, I'm showing you right in the background, this is another map that he created. This was as he was working on it. He was working on it right here. Hold on. I didn't mean to cut it off, but I just wanted to state that.
Where the individual was located. Now, there are plenty of misconceptions out there in the public about the term Alkebulan. Some would say that the word means Garden of Eden or Mother Nature, but realistically, The word never found its way into any colonial documentation or a dictionary of any kind for that matter. Now, some people would even go as far as saying that the word is of Arabic origin, and it means the ones before, due to some viral pseudo rumor that says the word is a noun that, quote, implies that it was used to refer to the original inhabitants of a place before the Arabs' arrival.
Now, that was a quote that they were saying originally. This was the definition. Implies that it was used to refer to the original inhabitants of a place before the Arabs' arrival. That's why I was like, well, wait a minute. So if it was before the Arabs' arrival, where are you getting that from? Okay.
Of a place before the Arabs' arrival.
In other words, where are you defining that name? What language? Because if it has multiple different definitions and you can't single out the language. You can't single it out saying, okay, it came from this language or it came from that language, because nobody can agree on what it means. Something is wrong here. And this didn't pop up as far as the name is concerned until that year. Actually, no, 2012 and up. 2012 and up. I was trying to find more records of that. Besides people trying to enlist other names of Africa during that time period, there's another guy that I ran into that named himself Dr. Alki Bulin. Dr. Alki Bulin. Like, I was like, that was weird. And he popped up during that same time period. I was like, okay, well, maybe he just changed his name to a stage name to make, people correlate with him based off of the information that he's presenting, which would be Pan-African. Because why would he call himself that type of terminology if that has no origin in his original language that he speaks? I was like, something's wrong here.
Then the other half of that same rumor alleges that the word Alki Bulin derived from the Arabic root adverb kwab, which means before. However, once again, there is absolutely no hard
and I'm showing you this
evidence to support this heavily campaigned theory. In fact, the word al in Alki Bulin is the definite article in the Arabic language that means the.
So that part is the watch.
And the suffix,
that's the only part that came back.
Land is used to express the plural form of an adverb in the Arabic language.
So that leaves us with kabu.
That leaves us with kabu, which has no explanation or definition in the Arabic language whatsoever.
That's why I was like, so why are they implying that this is an Arabic word? Just because you have the prefix, suffix. I'm like, something's not right here. Did they make this up?
But just before we rule out that the word Alki Bulin is not the original name of the place called Africa.
And I said, side note, Alki Bu is not an Arabic word neither. It's not. And once again, you guys could go behind me. You guys could go behind me and check.
And before we rule out that the word itself is not an actual Arabic word, let's go over another popular theory that's being used right now. Yet another rumor implies that the word Alki Bulin is an Arabic word that means the land of the blacks. And as silly as this...
Listen, when I'm quoting something, that means that you could pick this right up. You could type this in and they're going to state that online. So I'm combating what they're stating about this word because there's no record of this.
The land of the blacks. And as silly as this sounds to real Arabs that actually speaks the language, some American followers of this theory would go to their graves with the belief that this definition is somehow correct and Alki Bulin is a real Arabic word, when in reality, it is not. The Arabic word zanj or zanje was the derogatory term used to describe so-called black people, or rather the indigenous people of the Swahili coast and the surrounding areas.
See, remember how y'all brought up Swahili? Listen to how deep I got.
That this definition is somehow correct, and Alki Bulin is a real Arabic word, when in reality, it is not. The Arabic word zanj or zanje was the derogatory term used to describe so-called black people, or rather the indigenous people of the Swahili coast and the surrounding areas of the southeast region of the landmass now known as Africa today. Also, this Arabic word is shared with many other languages that carries nearly the same meaning, like the Turkish word zinsi or the Persian word zangi, for example. There are no other traces of the origin of this word, Alkebulan, except in the Indonesian language. The word bulan.
Hold on. No other traces but.
Origin of this word, Alkebulan, except in the Indonesian language. The word bulan apparently means moon, and in Malay, Kibulan means to the moon. So with all of that being said, we can determine that option C is not correct due to the lack of publicly verifiable evidence to support it as a possible truthful answer. Now, by the process of elimination, we can clearly see that the answer to this question would be option D. However, that will also depend on some key factors that are royally overlooked when considering what could be the original ancient name of Africa. Isn't it worth mentioning to everyone that's interested that the place that we know as Africa was once known by various different names throughout history?
Let's make sure that that's known. Isn't it worth mentioning to everyone that's interested that the place that we know as Africa was once known by various different names throughout history? Once again, many different countries with many different languages. Okay.
The truth is based on what makes logical sense to you when using your critical.
You see this map?
Thinking skills.
Look, y'all. Ethiopia. Screenshot this. Look, y'all. Dropping a bomb.
Fatality.
Now, these are maps that we can pull up. They get older and older. And this is before they started making Ethiopia one small location based off of their imaginary lines. I'm just saying.
So if Africa has multiple different tribes of people that speaks different languages and historically has multiple different cultures, then trying to determine the actual original name of a said location would be very complex, merely due to each language would have a different word, and in most cases, a different meaning and even pronunciation.
Period.
What if a so-called African tribe never traveled outside of their homeland before?
Hold on. Wait. Whew.
A so-called African tribe never traveled. Very complex, merely due to each language would have a different word, and in most cases, a different meaning and even pronunciation. What if a so-called African tribe never traveled outside of their homeland before? Would their native language even include a word for a place called Africa? Would they even know that they are being called Africans right now, instead of by a word that derived from their native language?
To me, when you say Africans, when you say that, I think you speaking English. As me as an African, when you say Africa, I know you speaking English. So first of all, Black Americans in US, whatever, okay, seems like you are a little bit confused about Africa and other stuff.
Hold on. Listen. Black Americans, it seems like you're a little bit confused about Africa and other stuff.
So, Black Americans.
Talk to them.
In US, whatever. Okay. Seems like you are a little bit confused about Africa and other stuff.
Real life.
Because when you say Africa, first of all, what you have to know that you speak in English.
You got to know that.
So if you have any question, the question will be like, what Africans we call
African? Woo! That's the question. Listen, the quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask.
Set it on fire.
What Africans we call African? Let's go back.
The question will be like, what Africans we call Africa? Okay. Now, you know that Africa is not only one country. Okay? Africa is many, many countries. Okay? But every country have a name that they call Africa. Every country. Okay? Every country have the name that they call Africa. Okay? Okay, for instance, what Ghana call Africa?
Now, this blew my mind. Okay? This blew my mind when he told me what Ghana calls Africa. Hold on.
Every country have the name that they call Africa. Okay? Okay, for instance, what Ghana call Africa? Ghana call Africa a Bibri.
Whoa.
Okay? Okay, for instance,
one more time.
What Ghana call Africa? Ghana call Africa a Bibri.
Ghana call Africa a bliblum. Does a bliblum sound anywhere close to Africa? Listen. It's over, man. And these Pan-Africans don't want to talk about this stuff. They don't want to talk like this.
Ghana call Africa a Bibli.
A bliblum. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So right now, if you tell my mom, okay, my mom is old. If you tell my mom Africa, my mom don't know where Africa is.
Woo.
You don't know what is Africa. What is Africa?
His mom would know. His mom would not know. Y'all, come on, y'all. And you don't think that's an issue? And you over here in America talking about some Africa this, Africa that. And the people that we call Africans don't call Africa Africa, nor do they call themselves Africans. You can't debunk that. That's coming out of their own mouth. Like, come on, bruh. You can't debunk it. So, this is the reason why I said Ethiopia, okay? But I also said hold up, because that would depend on what language, what country, because they're going to call it multiple different things, which led me to do further investigation on who called it Ethiopia. I'm gonna get into that at another time. There's another video I want to pull up. Give me a second, let me switch videos. But there is another video associated with this. One second. Okay. All right, I'm ready now. So let's go here. Let's go.
What is up, guys? It's African Reacts here, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that I saw on YouTube and other
the Pan-Africans, they got so mad at me because I put this out, but he was telling the truth. And it's, look, and they not the only one. You know how many Africans be begging to come on here to tell y'all what's up. And I'd be like, yo, just get on camera. Just tell it. Send it to me. I'll post it.
Here, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that I saw on YouTube and other platforms too, from this guy named Dane Calloway and other YouTubers too, but mainly from Dane Calloway. And I just wanted to give like an African side on it, or an African perspective, whatever you want to call it. And I actually agree with this guy on what he's talking about. And the main point is that Black Americans are actually indigenous or native to the Americas. I agree with this guy 100%, not like 100, but 100%. The points he actually make like too much sense. If you're Black American and you're still like hooked to Africa, then I don't know. I don't know what to say to you, but I wanted to just
he couldn't help himself
an African side of it. So let's start. Like me, when I was like, I came here to like the US when I was 7 years old, right there. For me, I would say like when we came, I used to hear like stories about like the transatlantic slave trade, I think it's called. And I used to ask my parents, actually, I used to ask them, why don't Black Americans look like us? That's the first thing. So I do know I wasn't wrong when I was a child. I wasn't wrong. And the second point will have to be one that Dane himself made, like, where are all the ships and all the boats? Yeah, it's not a ship, it's boats. Those aren't any ships back then.
They didn't
where
have
are
ships
all
back
the
then.
boats
That's
that
right.
we used? And the third point is, if you look at Africans, or not all Africans, but West Africa, you won't find like any stories that point to any like huge slave trade. If it actually happened, there.
Hold on. That's important.
But West Africa, you won't find.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's not a ship. It's boats. Those aren't any ships back then.
That's
where
very
are
important.
all the boats that they used? And the third point is, if you look at Africans, or not all Africans, but West Africa, you won't find like any stories that point to any like huge slave trade. If it actually happened, there will have to be like stories. Like if you go ask your great grandparents, if you're African, then they would tell you about like white men like arriving on the beaches and kidnapping people, or forcing tribes to kidnap other tribes. But there's not really like stories everywhere about that. So that's another thing that makes it not valid. And fourth point will have to be, it is actually possible you guys are from the Americas. I'm with Dane 100%. It's not. Some people view it as impossible, and I don't know why. Well, I am going to actually show you guys at the end of the video on why it's possible. And the same thing was going to happen to South Africa too, but
listen, that's important. A nugget. Listen.
Show you guys at the end of the video on why it's possible. And the same thing was going to happen to South Africa too, but it didn't happen all the way. So I am going to show you guys why it's possible. And it's not like impossible. And I just wanted to say before I show that, I wanted to say, like, why are Black Americans focused on Africans like so much? I don't get this thing, like wearing like tribal clothes or dashikis, if you want to call them that. Like, it doesn't benefit your community. If you're a Black American, it doesn't benefit you. If I put myself in a Black American shoes, and let's say I believe I'm from Africa, still I would go with a Dane all the way and pretend because just saying you're from Africa won't benefit you. You're actually calling yourself a foreigner on the land you live on.
Woo! Listen, this is it. Listen, what are you doing?
Dane all the way and pretend because just saying you're from Africa won't benefit you.
And
you're actually calling yourself a foreigner on the land you live on.
Come on, y'all. You're actually calling yourself a foreigner on the land you live on. Do you see the point? I'm from Africa, y'all. I'm from Africa. And they gonna ship you to where? Oh, my family from, when you gonna start guessing? You don't got no idea, do you? You don't have no idea. And like he said, if your parent, that's why it's so, they talking about, don't listen to you. They don't know what they talk about. Don't listen to the elders. The elders do know. Anybody that's telling you not to listen to your elders is suspect. Y'all want to call me an agent? Those people are the agents. Those people are the agents. If they sit up there saying that you shouldn't listen to your elders, they are your enemies. Direct hit. On target impact. And see, and all they doing, they mad now.
You wanna argue.
They want to argue, right?
I can't argue with you.
What's the point? What's the point of arguing? Huh?
You mad.
They mad now?
Look at you.
Huh?
You mad. You big mad.
Man, see, the whole point is, a lot of them know better. Some of them don't. They don't know any better. They just want to fit in with the crowd that they think is a high crowd. Like, it's a big crowd, and it's not. It's not. This out of Africa theory, or we came from Africa, or we're all Africans, is dying. Rest in peace. Nah. Rest in peace. It was a lie.
Set it on fire. Fire.
Like, come on. And then you sit up there and hear, and he's not the only African, it's multiple Africans telling you that you are not, you know how many videos I got that I could play right now? Of multiple Africans telling you why. Why? And then you're gonna turn right around. What you gonna say? He not African? What you gonna say about him? Oh, he an agent just because he's speaking up the truth? What you gonna call him? A whole bunch of names? You mad now? Huh? Come to find out, you ain't even know, did you?
You do not know a goddamn thing about Africa.
You ain't know. Well, you chose to ain't know. Acting like, and then you trying to make money off of our people with these lies. And it's the reason why some of them so-called Native Americans mad at me. This the reason why some of them, not all of them, some of them They mad at me because I'm telling the truth. I'm not the only one though, but I'm telling the truth. I don't have no reason to lie to you. For what? What am I going to get out of that? Tell me. Oh, he working for some agency. What agency? I put out my real name. Like, this is not a stage name. What agency I work for? Huh? Please tell me. Just because I'm telling the truth, you try to slander my name and all the rest of this stupidity, acting like children. No, stop telling our people's lies. Stop telling our people lies. We're done with that. Our people had enough. If you really about your people, you should stand with them and tell the truth. Stand up for truth. Don't be scared. I'm catching all of y'all with your pants down, and I don't swing that way. I can't be the only one doing this. Once again, I told you, I'm gonna tell it like how it is. You gonna tell it how it might be. I don't care how mad y'all get, how many videos y'all come up with. Oh, he this, he that. Oh, he tried to do this, y'all. And y'all trying to make up a little, so what, Ann? You not gonna debunk this truth. So that also means you can't debunk me. Period. You understand? Period. Because as soon as you say, oh, but I'm an African, it's like, nah, you lost. You lost. Oh, but we were named after the slave masters. But we came from Africa through the transatlantic slave trade. All that stuff gotta go now. All of it. The whole thing, because you can't prove nothing. Nothing. And that's not fair, because these Africans, just the real Africans, just laughing. They like stop it. You have an identity crisis, and that's what it is, real talk. And if you really want to know who you are, why can't you ask your own people? I mean, your own family. You gonna get on the internet and lie and say you did? Okay, so how come your grandmother, your grandfather not on camera? Your great aunts, great uncles, how come they not on camera? How come y'all not on camera, all grouped up, going to go visit your family members in Africa right now? How come you're not sending back some money to your family members in Africa right? The real Africans doing that. Matter of fact, all foreigners that come here sending back money to their family in their motherlands. Right now. Right now. And the government is paying them. They getting paid. And y'all want to hurry up ahead. Now, I'm not going to change the subject, but y'all trying to hurry up and talk about reparations like something about to change, right? And they did gave foreigner after foreigner after foreigner, millions after millions after billions. But you still want to talk about stuff. Not try to get nothing done. When are you going to get tired of talking? Are y'all scared of something? I'm talking about the ones that's out there. Yeah, I got a big platform, but how come 2 or 3 of us can't get together? You don't see the mission behind that? How come I'm not with 2 or 3 other big YouTubers right now and we going ham right now? How come that's not happening? Knowing I can't do it on my own, right? How come we can't, like 2 or 3 of us get together? How come that can't happen? Y'all got egos and they clash up with mine? Oh, I'm an alpha. If you gotta say that you're an alpha male, you're not an alpha male. How about that? How about that? That's just like saying if you gotta say you a murderer, you ain't a murderer. It's the same thing. If you gotta say that you gangster, you ain't a gangster. If you gotta say that you alpha male, you ain't alpha nothing. You all the way down. 0. Calling yourself an alpha male and you want to hang on to the Greek language, but yet you complaining about white supremacy. But yet you holding up all these Freemason societies. Yeah, we gonna get together. It's a group of us. We down. Yeah, we gonna do. No, you not. No, you not. Just like any other organization, you gonna follow suit with who in charge, and you go by their rules and regulations. You ain't out here doing nothing for real. Betraying our people for the money. But I'm gonna take care of my family. I'm not trying to hang with you clowns. It gotta be some real men, some real women. I'm talking about real warriors, real men, real women to step up, that ain't scared. That's why I said it's only gonna take 13% of us to do it. We don't need everybody. 13%. You know that's their favorite number? And it's mine now. It's my favorite number. It's our favorite number. You want to lie, say that you are so-called majority and we only 13% of the world population. Only 13% of the US population. We only make 1% of the nation's wealth. You lying. We only make up 1%? Well, how come we the biggest consumers right now? So if we flip this on your head and go from consumer to owner, what's gonna happen? I'm telling you, hey, I'm not playing. If you for real, you can hit me on the background. You can, I'm talking about seriously. Like, don't play games just because you wanna have a conversation or let's chat. You talk about some truth and hey, we gotta get on this radio station. We gotta talk on this channel. No, we do not. We gotta get stuff done. I'm not worried about the hate. Let them hate, y'all. Y'all shouldn't be worried about it neither. You dang, this person talking about you. That person talking, let them talk about me. It's gonna, once again, make sure that you ban these people alarm clocks. Because everybody wakes up at different times. Just continue to be their alarm clock. It's going to hit them right on their head. They'll wake up, give them time. They'll come back around. Hopefully by that time, the 13% already set. Because I'm telling you, once they see it set, everybody else gonna follow suit. They're gonna hop on. Oh, wait, what? And we don't have to put this out in the open. We do not. None of our moves need to be known. In fact, moves is happening right now and people didn't even know. Yeah, it's about ownership. It's about acres. It's about land allotments. I see you, Miss VIP. Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And hold each other accountable. We all be leaders. We can all be leaders in that sense.
And let's say I believe I'm from Africa. Still, I will I will go with the Dane all the way and pretend because just saying you're from Africa won't benefit you. You're actually calling yourself a foreigner on the land you live on. And I don't get this, like, if you're a Black American, like, all Black Americans are never, let me not say never, but are not gonna move to, like, let's say 90% of them are not gonna move to Africa. It will never happen. So might as well claim America. If you want to claim Africa and there's no way to change your mind, might as well just claim America. It doesn't make sense. If you claim Africa, you're gonna lose. And if you want to fight, like, for land, all of that, you're gonna lose. So if it was me in that shoes, I would just claim America. It doesn't matter. If you're Black American and you really, 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 like, think you're from Africa. And the facts are there if you watch the guy named Dane Calloway. So that's my perspective on it, or an African's perspective on it. If I was Black American, and I would go with Dane Calloway, even if I believed I was from Africa. It's a win-win. So I would not claim Africa. Even for me, you could say I'm an Americanized African. If I was gonna stay here, which I'm not. I'm just here to get my money. If I was gonna stay here and have kids,
he told the truth. He told the truth, didn't he? He just said he here to get his money, right?
recognized African. If I was gonna stay here, which I'm not, I'm just here to get my money. If I was gonna stay here and have...
So he not staying here, right? Y'all heard that, right? And can you blame him? Because that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. They coming, that's any foreigner. That's just not Africans. That's any foreigner. They coming over here to get their money. All for you. All for you, by the way. The majority of them getting it all for you. I bet 90% of y'all boss is a foreigner. Think about it. This is the reason why I encourage you all to own your own businesses. It's time, y'all. We got to make the real changes.
Have kids, I would not like lead them to Africa all the way because they're gonna be here. My bloodline is gonna be here for the rest of the way, so I would just teach them about American stuff. I would not lead them to African stuff. So this is what I don't get. Like, why claim Africa? It won't benefit you in any way. Even if you're, I think they're called Pan-Africanist. I would just pretend to be Aboriginal. If you don't want to follow Dane Calloway, I would pretend to be Aboriginal because I think they're called Pan-Africanist. I would just pretend to be Aboriginal. If you don't want to follow Dane Calloway, I would pretend to be Aboriginal because a list, it can benefit you in some way. I think following Africa is not the...
I'm sorry. Oh, yo. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just saying, yeah. I'm just saying. This is embarrassing, y'all. This is embarrassing.
Tend to be Aboriginal because a list called Pan-Africanist. Claim Africa, it won't benefit you in any way.
And he telling
even
the truth.
If you're, I think they're called Pan-Africanist. I would just pretend to be Aboriginal. If you don't want to follow Dane Calloway, I would pretend to be Aboriginal because a list, it can benefit you in some way. I think following Africa is not the best decision if you're a Black American. It's just useless. If you ask me, it's useless. If I was to put myself in your shoes, it's useless because 90% of you are never going to be in Africa, like never. The chances of that happening is so low. And I 100% believe that that's what happened, what Dane Calloway says because even when you look at West Africa, there's not stories. Like, there had to be stories if this really happened, of like grandparents telling their kids like, don't go down to the beach, or like white men or...
Remember also the comedian Godfrey, when I was on with Lil Jamar Godfrey said the same thing. It would have been stories passed down, but those stories did not exist. Come on, y'all not putting two and two together? It's not hard, Pan-Africans. Y'all gotta let this stuff go. This stuff is old now. It's been debunked. We gotta move forward.
White people are gonna kidnap you, or you're gonna get kidnapped by other tribes. There had to be like many stories if this really happened. And the boat thing, there's no way you can fit hundreds, I don't know if it's hundreds or millions of people in a boat. They're all gonna die. That's not possible. So I do go with the Dane Calloway on what he's saying. But if you're Pan-African and after this video you still believe you're from Africa, then the best thing I would advise you to do is keep that in mind if you want to, but follow Dane Calloway on the Aboriginal stuff, because that's what's really gonna benefit you. Africa is not gonna benefit you, and this is coming from an African. If I put myself in your shoes, there's no way Africa's gonna benefit you. Maybe as an individual if you wanted to move there, but as a people, no. If you want your people to follow Africa, I would say that's the wrong way to go. That's not the right way. And I am gonna show you guys what it is a possibility here. It's not even like that, but it is a high chance that you're Aboriginal and you're not African. So let me show you guys. I'm gonna give you an example on South Africa. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how it is possible. What Dane is saying, it's not like impossible. So here is South Africa. If you see where my cursor is at, here it is. And the white people there, if their plans succeeded and the native people down there didn't fight, they could have told them that the white people traveled from Europe and they were already there before them. They could have told them that, and then they could have told them their people originate from maybe Angola or Zambia, the upper countries. They could have just lied to them about that.
See there?
So that's the example I wanted to give. So I think that's what happened in North America. The Europeans came there and now they're lying and they brainwashed almost everyone, and they're telling everyone that Black Americans come from Africa, but they're really lying, and they are the native people of the Americas. So that's my view on it. It almost happened to South Africa, but they fought back and their plan couldn't succeed. They could have just lied to all of them, all of the South Africans, and told them that their people didn't migrate down there. It was white people who migrated there first, so it's white people's land. I think that's what they could have told them if they succeeded with their plans, and everybody would be believing them now if they did succeed. So I think that's what happened. And actually Dane Calloway made a video on this.
Sure did.
So I do support him 100 on that. They could have just said that, and knowing Africans, they could have believed it. So I think that's what happened to Black Americans too.
Yeah.
Even if you're a Pan-Africanist, if you're one of those type of like Black Americans that look at Black people like global, like all over the world as one people, I would say that if you look at that and like you want us to like focus on Africa, it doesn't really make sense. The right thing to do is focus on yourself.
Thank you.
Like if every Black person, let's say Black people from Jamaica, Haiti, and South America and the islands all moved to Africa, that would not be a good thing. It would not benefit Black people all over the world. So I would say it's a good thing that there's Black people everywhere, not just Africa. That's what I wanted to add on that. So I would say just focus on yourself, don't focus on Africa. And I am grateful that Black people are all over the world. It's not
right.
You don't have to be a fool to think or be sad that you didn't come from Africa. you should be happy. It doesn't make sense. I don't know if you get this, if you're a Black American, but you should be happy you're not from Africa. Even I am an African and I'm happy. That means that there's colored people all over the world. It's not like the slavery and we weren't already there. That means it's a good thing. Like, I am happy that Jamaicans are not from Africa. They were already there. It doesn't make sense if you want to get all sad or be mad that you're not from Africa. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, and another example is the colored people in Papua New Guinea and even in Australia. If you search them up, if the white people could just, or the Asians could just invade them like heavily.
Notice he said Asians.
If they wanted to brainwash them, they could just brainwash them and tell them you come from Africa, and now they're not connected to their land. So I would say that focusing on Africa is just useless. You should focus on yourself and your homeland. Like, if right now they just teach, like, the people, you should search them up if you don't know them. They live in Papua New Guinea. Let's say they brainwashed them and taught them that they come from Africa. And right now they will all be focusing on Africa and, oh, I want to take a trip, all of that. So it will not benefit them anyway, and that's the wrong move. Like, you should just say fuck it if you still believe you're from Africa with all the evidence that's there to tell you you're not. I would just say fuck it, you're now American. You're a Pan-Africanist that still believes in Africa. Like, this huge thing, I think, has been turned into like a religion or something like that. So what?
See, there we go. It turned into a religion. I told you.
You're a Pan-Africanist that still believes in Africa. Like, this huge thing, I think, has been turned into like a religion or something like that. So I would say stop focusing on Africa. If you're Pan-Africanist and after this video you still believe, or after you watch Dane Calloway, all of his videos, you still believe you're African, I would say fuck it, follow people like him, and it will benefit you instead of saying you're an African, which will not benefit you in any of the laws or if you wanted to gain something as a community. So I would say follow people like Dane, even if you believe you're from Africa, which there's huge evidence that says you're indigenous to the Americas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, and I'm being real here. I could do more. I'm not gonna go more. I mean, because it's just too many Africans telling you guys that you gotta wake up. You can't just let a theory hang over you and your entire life, because it's holding you up and it's holding us up. Like, come on. Let's be real about this. There's certain things that we gotta change. Like, and that's one of them. We have to change this, y'all. We can't sit up here and allow these strangers to get away with this. We gotta take control over everything about us, from top to bottom. Education, economically, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. And we always crying about problem here, problem there, but we ain't knocking down the number one issue. Why you think we're always separate from each other? This was done by design. I'm trying my hardest to bring us all back together. I know everybody ain't gonna make it. That's why I said 13% first. Y'all can click the link below. The server's there. There's going to be more than just a server here shortly. No plans will be put out in the open. If you want to talk to me privately, send me a message in there. Send me a message on Instagram. Send me a message on Patreon. You can send me a message on Twitter. I just don't check my DM on Twitter. Okay? But you can. You know, I mean, if you send me a tweet or something, hopefully I'll be able to see it. You know, but same thing with Instagram. But in the server, I can see it. So it's up to you guys. I really want to, and once again, I shouldn't be the only big YouTube platform that's talking like this and want to get something done. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Like, I like Papa Duck. I like Willie D. You know what I'm saying? I like RZA. I like, it's a lot of people that I like. 19 Keys. It's a lot of, you know, Brother Ben X. Like, it's a lot of us that's already focused on the land, but like we need to come together. Just maybe like 3 of us to lead off something. Like, and do it for real. Not just showboat. We don't gotta explain nothing to the public. We could do it behind the scenes. Papa Duck is Haitian? Hey, okay. That's what's up. I don't have no issue with that. Long as he ain't got no issue with it neither. Like, I know it's certain people, you know, that's not indigenous to North America that turn their nose up or whatever. I'm not looking for those type of people. I'm looking for the people that's down, that's ready, that already got tracks on the ground, trying to make some more. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody that's doing it for real. But you know, but all that Pan-African stuff is like, nah, like until you let that go, we ain't be able to do nothing together. Holding on to it for dear life. Same thing with Tariq Nasheed, still holding on to it. Gotta let it go. It's over with now. You don't gotta argue with no Africans. They know what's up. What we need to argue for? I'm talking about the real Africans. What you arguing with them for? Nah, Joe Brown an agent. I mean, he literally with them folks. He literally with our enemy. I already put him out there. Made sure that he put his business out there too before he leave this earth. Because I wanted you to hear it. I wanted you to hear it. Calling my mother all sorts of names and telling me she had sex with an alien. He was coming out of his mouth sideways. So I linked on him and let him have it. And I made sure that I put his real name out there and what he represents still to this very day. You can't trust everybody that's in the forefront like that, especially coming from the Hollywood scene. Just because everything look good, that don't mean everything is good. And he's a high-ranking member too. And I told him and his folks, I'm not afraid of them at all. You don't scare me. You're nothing. You're not about to shut me up no matter what. Tried to say I was talking about aliens and we came from a spaceship. Lying, just trying to slander my name. All of them be doing that. They make up lies because the hate not working. So they just make up lies and hope that that's gonna stick, and then it don't. And that's real talk. I like Claude Anderson. I think we were about to talk. I don't know what happened. Reach out to him and tell him to reach out to me. We were about to talk. I don't know what happened. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what happened. Out of the older people, as far as elders, I think him and Baba Rasan, like the older ones, they the ones that's legit. Out of the older group, from what I've seen so far. But like, and then Claude, like Claude Anderson do research. I mean, ain't no telling what we could put together. That would be amazing. But all the people that's just jumping on YouTube, just talking, not really doing no research, no nothing, and they want to swear to God that we need this, we need that. Nah, not that. I don't want that. And it could be you. It could be you. I would love for it to be you. It don't gotta be somebody we seen on, you know, on YouTube or wherever. It could be you. Why not? Right now, y'all can help me create these courses for the, you know, for our children. What up, teachers, professors? Y'all want to get on in on this? The stuff is already up, waiting on y'all. I would love for you. If you want to add something, come on. Law. If somebody want to start creating some, you know what I'm saying, some citations, like whatever. You want to create some legislations? You want to hand some notices over? Because I swear I want to be right there with you. I even go to court with you. I can't be the only one. But all these ideas, we could come together, put them all together. We could write it down. Ain't nothing wrong with writing stuff down. In fact, I think that's better anyway. All the way down to being, you know, spiritually inclined. If you write it down, a lot of that stuff will come true if you keep reiterating it in your mind a couple times, maybe for like 15, 20 minutes. I'm just saying, try it. Might work for you. I agree. Unity matters. But I just know it's not going to be everybody, because everybody got their own little perception on things. They got the ego in the way. You know, I'm not for all that. Yeah. Rest well, Coolio. Yeah, Coolio was legit, man. Coolio was legit. I love Kanye. I would love to have a conversation with Kanye. I know people would think he go up and down or whatever, but I can see through that. I would love to have a conversation with him. But maybe in due time. We'll never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think he was going, as far as that White Lives Matter part, I think he was doing that to get some attention. Because I believe him and Candace Owens did that. That looked like some attention grabbing right there to me. I don't think he was like, I think he was trying to send a message to let everybody know, hey, Black Lives Matter, not all that. Here's why. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I took from that. But I didn't look into that. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't look all the way into it, but I mean, I looked at it like, oh, that's Kanye. Kanye being Kanye. You know, I really do. Yeah, he was trolling. That's what I looked at. I felt as though he was trolling. I mean, Candace Owens too. I mean, she's pretty intelligent. And for her to do something like that, with her being a Republican and well respected in this particular realm, I like the way she talked. That's how I kind of figured. I was like, nah, they doing that, you know, they trolling. And rubbing it in the Black Lives Matter face, which ain't nothing but full of our enemies. Put it like that. And look, it doesn't matter their skin complexion. It doesn't matter the skin complexion. That whole organization full of our enemies. Just trying to get right off of your, you just take all your money out your pocket. Getting your donations. You know, funding the Democrats. Y'all know how they do. We need to start with the grassroots. We need to know we don't. We got this. We don't need to align it the way they got it set. We don't. We can do it on our own. So get ready for tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say. Get ready for tomorrow and the rest of this week too. My wife and I got some things cooking. And I'll go ahead and post them out. I appreciate you all joining me. Thank you all for the donations. Who is this right here? This was Borrow. Hey, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow for sure. We still got more stuff to go over. This stuff right here I'm posting is in the past. You know, I'm going over this stuff. So in my live streams, it's almost like I'm catching up people, trying to hurry up and catch up people, because when I hit them hard, I hope it connect. I mean, regardless if it don't, I'm gonna go over it again during the live stream. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I gotta do to get the people informed and keep them informed. But I promise you, I'm not gonna go the 3-4 hours no more. Hopefully not, without at least trying to upload more highlights of these streams. Cause I know you guys are not trying to see 4 hours straight. So I'm gonna fix that up. I'm gonna fix that up. And me on top of that, I wasn't even looking at the time. Like I shouldn't have went that long. But I appreciate you all coming out. You all take care. See you all tomorrow. You all have a great, beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful week, beautiful month, beautiful year, beautiful life. All right, take care. Wado. I love you.